We are live from Spokane on one side of the screen. Tim joining us via Wisconsin. We're here for, what are we, week 5?
Yep.
Week 5 of the podcast. We're doing our week 4 wrap up, week 5 look ahead. And we are going to begin with the man of last week, the trade master himself, Drew Nelman, who is now here to defend his trade after seeing it this week, kind of paying out what's going to happen. And take it away, Drew. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
This trade was the worst?
Yeah.
Well, I think it worked out pretty well. Me and Nathan sat here like 10 feet away and talked about it for probably, honestly, like an hour. Going back and forth, we talked about maybe doing, and I'm afraid to say this out loud because Luke's going to rip into me here, but we talked about maybe we'll do Tutu Atwell instead of Brandon Aiyuk. And then I said to myself, I like Tutu Atwell better than Brandon Aiyuk.
We also talked about Josh Jacobs or Jalen Waddle straight up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a challenge trade. We talked about a couple renditions for Kyren Williams.
Okay.
And we settled on Kenneth Walker, Drew's boy.
Yep.
Seattle running back, gets a ton of tutties.
Just doubling down on ultimate fun and Sunday football experience.
So
he plays well.
Do you know what Kenneth Walker is ranked?
5th.
He's currently the 5th running back. And Jalen Waddle is like the 50th wide receiver because he missed a week.
And also because when he's played, he's been butt cheeks.
It's true. I mean, he wasn't good last week.
And now you got Chase Claypool in the mix too.
Yeah. Who knows how that's going to end?
That's not much, but you know.
He was good and he is not old.
So the reason why I was so against it is because Jalen Waddle is seen with this like super high ceiling because he's in the Dolphins offense. But then what might have happened is Denver just might be really, really bad.
Really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami just had the craziest week ever. And now everyone's projecting Waddle way too high. And Kenneth Walker, I mean, if he stays consistent as like a top 5 running back, it's probably a steal on your part is what it's going to end up being. So the hatred after 1 week was not deserved. So I will officially retract my Chris Paul to the Lakers comparison.
I am accepting apologies via email, text message. Postcards are fine too if you feel especially bad about it.
Tim seems like he's not ready to be.
I didn't make any public comments about the trade because I like to operate in the shadows and say things to myself. But just let's play devil's avocado here. So speak to the fact that there could be collusion in this trade. Just speak to that, please. Is there collusion?
There's no collusion in this trade. Why would Drew, speaking as friends, I don't think Drew would want to help me beat you guys. He would want to beat me.
That's true.
But
he's
Drew
the only person
also
he has to see.
Probably won't beat your team.
Well, no, nobody beats my team. Clearly,
No,
I'm 4-0.
Well,
I have the most points in the league. Like you guys have tried and failed 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
you guys, you're the 2 new people in the league, and
this is my 3rd year.
You're both out. I know, but you're still the newest. You're both out in Washington together, and in my mind, I think that you hatched some kind of plan to just elevate Nathan's team and kind of work together. So
well, you can't check my bank records, so you have no proof.
I can't. I'm just being the avocado here.
Well, let me ask you a question, Tim.
Yeah.
If we wanted to elevate my team, why did I trade away my best running back?
That's a great question.
Because you have
the best defense.
Well, and you have a running back coming back from suspension.
And I have Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs and Kyren Williams. Yeah, and Breece Hall, who is now off of his training wheels, so to speak. They just announced that this week. So
Breece Hall is fool's gold.
Kyren Williams changed your entire trajectory.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been probably a middling team, and then you got a top 3 running back.
Oh yeah, for $1 more than whoever else bid on him.
Yeah.
Somebody bid 20, I bid 21.
Well, here's the long and short of why I thought that this was a good trade. My team had way too much depth. I was trying to decide who I was going to start every week, having Tutu Atwell, Brandon Aiyuk, all these other guys sitting on my bench. not knowing that all of them had the potential to put up 20, 30 points every week, but always constantly picking wrong. So I feel a lot better about narrowing that pool down a little bit so that every week I can say I put my best guys out there and not say, crap, I have 120 points on my bench again. I want to die.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we can just leave it with we are in a league where the commissioner is going to approve every trade. So do with that what you
Fire
will.
away.
Yep. It is a puppet regime.
So moving on to
He just supported you. Libby supported you, and you just bashed him into the ground.
moving into
No, it's
last week. Seth had a huge week, 154 points. Lamar Jackson, like I said last week, is the most consistent and best fantasy football player in the NFL currently. DJ Moore, now that it's Friday and we know what he did on Thursday, is a really good wide receiver who the Bears are going to continue to feed. And then, he has one of the few tight ends that actually scores points. Like streaming a tight end this year has been the most even more frustrating than other years because only Kelsey and Andrews are good.
Yep.
Every other, like Waller, is pathetic.
George Kittle's showing flashes, but
I sure hope that he does.
The league, Waller caught 2 passes at the end of the game for bogus points that had Luke beat me last week.
That's true. That is true. I'm also destroying this week too because I had all the Bears in that league too. Cole Kmet has come on as a pretty good tight end, but like
Evan Ingram.
Yeah, Kelsey and Andrews and
TJ
Ingram.
TJ Hawkinson he had his one good week and he's been mid.
As long as he gets like 9 points, I'm good with it.
We were just talking before the podcast how the Vikings are the winningest losers.
Yeah, they're the greatest NFL franchise that has never actually won anything meaningful.
Let's segue into the fact that, completely ignoring you guys, that Ross lost. 67 points. Ross is human after all. And Lucas with a nice upset win. And Derrick Henry had a big week. So when I was texting with Lucas about the trade that he and I made, he did want to mention, Luke, that you should continue to say that Derrick Henry is washed because it works like a charm every time for him the week afterwards.
Yeah, it's one of those takes that I like to fire off as soon as I see it, and then it ends up backfiring every single time because I want one of these times it's going to be the right one, and he will be washed. So I'm going to keep firing that one away. Ross somehow scored less points than my team, which is now like the new Mendoza line for "Are you the worst team in our league?" Did you score less than me?
So are you dropping him to 12th then?
It's gonna be close. He's not currently. We won't spoil it yet, but I am. Yeah, the rankings are set. Team.
No, you're not. So Sam loses again. Nathan, have you checked in with your brother? How's he doing?
He's hit the point. I just talked to him this week because I expected him to have called me for the Drew trade, and he said I didn't actually hate it that much. And he said, at this point, I don't know what to do. He's like, Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb aren't getting used like they did. Mike McCarthy's calling the plays. Garrett Wilson's season tanked with Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. And once you have those 3 guys who are his highest paid guys, it's like, what can you do? Puka is his best player.
Yeah, the CeeDee Lamb thing, though, is him getting his just desserts for being able to keep him for like $15 for the last 2 years. And
that's true.
Like somehow people in our league thought Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb were going to be worthless their rookie years and didn't pay for them. And now they're the best players, or should be the best players in fantasy. So I kind of like Tom not being able to thrive off of Jamar for cheap and Sam not being able to thrive off of CeeDee for cheap.
Now, question, if you were able to keep a keeper, do you think that was helpful to your team?
So far, it hasn't been necessarily the case. Like Ross gets helped with having Mahomes.
I feel like we need to call on our resident analytics expert, Wes Franson, who might be able to do some research into whether a keeper is worth it. Wes, if you're out there, throw up a spreadsheet for us.
I mean, I didn't have a keeper.
Nathan.
4-0.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
Nathan is currently trying to hijack the entire show. We let him guess 2 shows in a row basically.
Just slipping in the 4-0 wherever I can.
You
That's
are
all.
the shiniest turd. Congratulations.
Oh man. Yeah. So now we're gonna have to go full reverse jinx on him and just only have him. The show might just be yours in 2 weeks, where you just come on
That's true.
and talk about your team.
Talk about how I'm 6-0. I am a golden god.
I mean, I really like Libby's team. They're the
He's good.
He's your challenger, I think, for what's gonna happen in the playoffs.
Was he drunk uncle?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Libby's team is durability. David Montgomery, huge injury history. DeAndre Swift, huge injury history. Amon-Ra St. Brown, currently doubtful, unlikely to play. Tua on his bench. Josh Allen's been.
The fact that he has 2 on his bench is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he played his cards perfectly. He was in the race with me for Gibbs. Bowed out, saved his money, got Montgomery, and it has been the best move that he's had so far because Gibbs is almost an unplayable player.
How much did he get
Like he's
Swift for?
flex level.
$13 for Swift.
And yeah, nobody believed that Swift was going to end up winning out the Eagles running back job.
$15 for
Blows it
Montgomery.
away. And then he has Josh Allen, who's just another great fantasy quarterback.
Yep. You've kind of got yourself the hype team where it looks like all of these guys should have been a lot better when they first entered the fray.
On
Jerome Ford,
paper,
Gibbs.
great team.
Yep.
And then they all score under 10 points every week. It's really tough. Who else had good week? Tim, you went down to Wes. Wes snuck one out on you. Tom finally had a good week, 117 points, taking down Sam. I think that's the first time that Tom has been over 100 points in a while. And
Christian McCaffrey is not even human, man.
Yeah.
Tom's defense scored him 18 points.
That's true. That's how you
second leading player
go over 100 points is if your defense scores.
Yeah, man. I mean,
over.
it's hard to lose a matchup when your defense scores you over 10 points.
Yeah.
Which Cowboys defense now without Trayvon Diggs
Scored
the rest of the year.
Scored.
They were really good
26 points last week without.
They were really
Diggs.
good. I have them in the other league.
But they've been going up against a lot of crappy.
They're Niners this week, so
Yeah.
that's going to be a good matchup between those top defenses.
So I'm not playing them this week. I'm pretty sure. Got moved on from that.
That's good.
In the Stinker Bowl, Lucas and
so
Ross.
Tim, do you have a best draft pick so far now that we're about a quarter of the way into the season that you've just shook your head at how this person is good and the cheapness? Mine is Montgomery. Montgomery just makes me really, really mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, it should because it affects your team.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair. I mean, I have a lot of players who were drafted who were actually bad, but I don't think that I have the reverse of that. Maybe it's I mean, let's just I'm going to play my personality here. It's the Dallas Cowboys defense for $1 in the draft that wasn't a draft.
Yeah. Yeah. But that won't be there can't be a season long thing. They're not going to be like the 2000 Ravens where they're just going to be good because we already saw a bad week from them.
Yeah.
That's not going to carry your team. But getting Kamara is going to be huge. I mean, he had 20 points last week already, his first game back.
Yeah.
The other one that we have to look forward to is Jonathan Taylor is going to play this weekend. So Lucas is getting Jonathan Taylor, who I think he got for what, $12-15.
It was low, and I think at that time we weren't even sure if he would play the entire season. So to have him back already could be a pretty big deal. And he got Madison from me too. So I think that Lucas is on the rise a bit.
Did you see that I accidentally didn't start Aaron Jones last week, and he ended up scoring only 1 point? So
Nicely done.
I mean, I would have started him and then I would have scored less than 69 points. So that would have been
Nice.
fun.
Okay, but let's not tell Lucas about Jonathan Taylor until after this week, okay? Because he hasn't taken him
Is
out
he
of his
still in his
IR,
IR slot?
and we don't need him to take him out of his IR until after this week.
I'm nervous about Jonathan Taylor a little bit.
Was there a big free agent pickup this week? Because I had put money in on the guy that moved to the Vikings. Akers.
Yeah, it was me. No, it was me. You put $2 on Cam Akers. I put 15 on him because I'm silly.
Well, you have Madison, so it makes
no,
sense.
I don't anymore. I don't
Oh,
anymore. I traded
got rid of
Madison away.
Madison?
Yeah, I traded Madison for Kittle. But it's funny because I drafted Cam Akers for $34 last year and he did nothing and I was really disappointed. So now I'm just ready to be hurt again. But he did look pretty explosive on Sunday, so I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, he was the guy that when I looked, he was the most intriguing. So it makes sense that you went after him for, I mean, only 15. That's not too bad.
Got to use your
Having
free agent money.
back-to-back weeks with Jerome Ford going for, I think 75 and then A-Chain for 96.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people out of the race now for any future injuries that are going to occur in the running back area. I think the biggest thing that, like, you have to have two good wide receivers. Like, back to this. So from comparing my team, because it's the easiest comparison I can make, from last year where I had 3 good wide receivers to this year only having Tyreek. It's crazy how much more variability you have in your scoring, as opposed to having like 2 really solid guys and a third flex one, and then just rolling the dice on running backs.
Yeah. That's kind of why I wanted to revert back, is because it's so volatile. There, you have so little control over how your team actually performs week to week. You're trying to flesh out 3 wide receiver spots. It's possible, but you can just get dumpstered in the playoffs, even though you have the best team. Because
True.
Yeah, super matchup dependent. Like if the team has good cornerbacks, then your guys just done.
they play
Like this
man
week,
or zone.
I'm playing Brandon Ayuk against the Cowboys because no
Why not?
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, which is why I tried to because I feel like quarterback is the most static position. Like you should basically get the same amount of points every week from your quarterback, if not more. And so I spent more on a quarterback than I have recently, and then that didn't work out at all.
Not yet. I mean,
Not
he got
yet.
hurt, but
Anthony
he's been
Richardson
consistent
is
when he
very
plays.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of good rookie quarterbacks, CJ Stroud.
$1 Stroud. That's what we call him.
That
Cost me $1. I think he was my last pick in the draft. Number 10 ranked QB. No big deal.
Had another offensive lineman go down this week.
Doesn't matter.
So yeah, dude, Stroud's been incredible. He zips it around. Ohio State supporter over here. Just that's his
Can people see
QB.
that?
yeah. Ohio
Just
State.
have to he's got to spread the ball around a bit more and not throw all of the balls to Nico Collins one week and then all the balls to Tank Dell another week and then all the balls again to Nico Collins the next week. I really feel like he needs to spread it around a bit more because it's hard to start his wide receivers.
Should we do a live trade offer between Tank Dell and Nico Collins? Do you want Nico Collins? Do I want Nico Collins or do you want Tank Dell?
I don't think that it matters because I'm going to start the wrong wide receiver on the wrong week. And when he's on my bench is when he's going to get points. I can't get the formula right. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Tank Dell was tough because I thought I had a steal there on the waiver wire pickup and then he did nothing. And well, I picked him up the week that he did well. And then I started him the week he didn't. And Nico Collins went off.
He's boomer bust.
And then Nathan just has the best of both worlds where you start Stroud and it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just plug and play.
Yeah.
I'm glad he worked though, because Kenny Pickett is atrocious. That was my 2 quarterbacks I grabbed, hoping that one of them would not necessarily pop off, but not be atrocious where it's not too bad that it was only $1.
Yeah, dude, the Steelers offense is tough. Najee has been
So bad.
really bad. Warren hasn't even really played at all. And then which wide receiver there's got hurt? He's on IR now.
Could be George Pickens. That's
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. Yeah. It's tough out there for Steelers players.
And still, they'll probably finish the year 12-5 because that's what the Steelers always seem to do: is look pretty bad and finish with a ridiculously good winning record.
All right. So Tim and I were unable to write weekend update jokes because I am currently on vacation and Tim's lazy. So
Lazy / it's almost open enrollment season and I work for an insurance company, but
there you go.
lazy.
Busy. I'm on vacation. Tim's busy. And this shows that we do actually take time writing jokes. So
It's true. Not
appreciate
like
them when they're there because it's not like I could just whip them up in 5 minutes when we decide.
yeah,
to
not
do
back of the
this.
napkin before we go. Yeah, not that at all.
Can I be completely candid with you guys for like just a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
There have been weeks, not every week, but there have been weeks when I watch your podcast, which I usually watch every week, where I skip through the weekend update portion.
That's fair. That's fair.
I like a lot of your guys' jokes, but sometimes I get to that part and it's like, I just want to know why these guys are ranking me so low. So I'm gonna.
That's
I
why
just-
we
I
have the
just wanna get
power
to point
rankings
where
at the
Tim
end.
harasses my team and then has to eat crow the next.
That
No, I've been
That is-
trying to throw it.
that is
I've been trying to
constant.
throw at least one joke in that makes fun of somebody's team. I'll have to do that a little bit more
Oh,
often.
yeah.
That's way. I mean, you don't get the power rankings in the email. They happen at the end. You got to listen to the
Yeah.
whole thing, man. Come
Yep.
on.
All right.
But it
Sorry.
is kind of like our ad break in the middle.
If you incite some more conflict and start going after people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to write
Okay.
pointed jokes.
Tim's going after me week 1 and week 2 is the whole reason I'm even trying.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So Tim put together our power rankings this week and added
I
some
have a couple.
labels.
Yeah,
Labels.
I've labeled the teams and because
So, Tim, take it away. Lead us through this.
yeah, I was doing this on my own solo, and I just thought I'd add some rationale for my picks. So we'll start from the bottom. Number 12, we've got Sam, who is winless. Hey, it's Andrew Real. Nice. Number 11, we've got Luke, who is 1 week wonder.
Yep.
Number 10, we've got Tom, Christian McCaffrey good, everyone else bad. Number 9, we've got Stefan, who's just meh. That's
Poor
all I can.
Stefan. That's now 2 years of him just being
meh.
in that team.
He's just
And,
his team's just there.
Number 8 is Turd Ferguson, who I dubbed roller coaster because you can be really good or really bad.
has low
Uh,
lows.
Number 7 is myself, and I put average because I didn't want to make myself sad. Number 6, I put Lucas, who is on the rise. I kind of already said why. Number 5 is Seth, can be really good, sometimes isn't. Number 4 is Wes, who has criminals, but they're really good football players. Number 3 is Ross, who is human after all. And number 2 is Libby, who is consistently good. And number 1 is Nathan, and all I said was obnoxious.
Accurate.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
It's
All the way up and down. Well done.
it's tough. It's tough.
Hmm.
I mean, I still have to ride for my guy Ross. I think he's going to be there all the way, and we'll probably end up becoming victorious in the playoffs because you can be good all you want in the regular
And then
season,
lose the
Nathan.
playoffs.
You get to
That's
the
true.
playoffs, and it's all that juju. It's all the luck, baby. And Ross just has that in spades.
Well, does Ross have the sword of the kings of Gondor? This
I don't
gives
know.
me all the luck I need.
Yeah. Did you say the name of it, Tim? What's the name of that sword?
Andreal.
Andrew
Or is it
Real, yes.
Narcial?
I thought
Yeah.
you said Andrew.
I
Real.
also thought he said
I thought you
Andrew
said
Real.
Andrew Real as well, so I was just like, I don't get the reference. but
sword.
Okay.
The sword of
Comes out with a
Andrew
sword,
Rail.
Andy Rail. It's like, yeah, that's something
Sure.
Andy Rail would do.
Sure.
Nailed it.
He has been reforged. He has been remade. He's ready to go.
Into a sword.
Yeah. Short hair parent now. What? I got nothing else to say about I mean, I probably should be the last team in the power rankings. It's really,
I don't
really
know until
bad.
Sam wins a game.
Yeah.
I know. I had to put Sam at the bottom because
His
he
points
hasn't-
for are a
hasn't
lot
won.
better than mine. Like, I'll pull it up here, but
But I mean, I think another reason why is that sure Puka is his best player, but now Cooper Cup is coming back, so I think
Yeah.
even that is gonna hurt him a little bit more.
He's had 56 more points against, and he has 40 more points for than me.
Who has Cooper Cup? Missed that.
Ross
Pretty
has
sure it's Ross.
Oh, of course he does.
Ross. Boo. Well, he'll get injured. He always does.
No, he doesn't. Ross does not have Cooper Cup.
Pretty sure it's not Lucas.
No, he has Jonathan Taylor.
This is really good podcasting to know this.
We already explained to the audience.
Fix it
that
in
we didn't
post.
We didn't do any research for this.
He is on Seth's team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Seth.
Was Seth the
Make
one
it
on the
better.
rise?
The
Seth
rich
is
get
on-
richer. No,
Seth is sometimes
Seth is
good.
here.
Sometimes really good, sometimes not as good. And
Can be
he's-
really
so
good sometimes.
because this is Friday, Seth has already beaten me thanks to Thursday Night Football. It's completely over. So congratulations, Seth, on your victory this week. I concede
Well done.
as much as I can possibly
Your
concede.
top performer is the Commanders defense, which has -5 points.
Yep. Yeah, and he had a player that scored 49. Much like last week when I got to watch the Lions dismantle the Packers and watch David Montgomery score 33 fantasy points on my head, while Jahmyr Gibbs did nothing.
You know what they
Whammy.
say?
Quietly and watches.
Fantasy football is pain.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Well, I'm pretty good.
okay. Yeah. My ray of sunshine, my silver lining is that I'm here with you,
Yeah.
and you can just be
Oh.
like, well, it's actually not all that bad.
Have you guys gone full reverse now? Because wasn't week one? Did you put yourself at the top after week one?
Two.
Nathan?
Two. Well, after week one, so it's technically our second week. So
Sam
we
was
did
number one,
we did a preseason ranking.
Sam was number one in the preseason.
Sam number
ranking.
one.
and I was last. I'm pretty sure.
After
You were
week
last.
one, after we actually saw the teams perform, I was number one because I had like 160 points for.
Yeah.
And then I have not scored over 80 the rest of the year.
1 week
Yeah.
wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which just echoes the words of our wise commissioner, who every year sends out his newsletter saying this is stupid, none of us know what we're doing, and we're going to get hurt. Yay, football.
It's all it is it's, I mean, join as many fantasy leagues as you can so you can have some bright spots somewhere instead of
true.
throwing all your marbles into this one, even though this is the most competitive one that I feel about.
Yep. If you watch this far into the podcast of just me and Luke complaining and Nathan gritting like an idiot, I applaud your patience. They'll probably do a lot better next week when we're not here. So
That's very true.
Don't give up.
All right, so I'm going to do an impromptu look at someone's roster and say one nice thing about each team. So starting with Nathan.
Oh, I like it.
Nathan, you have Kieran Williams. That was an excellent pick. Congratulations.
Can I say something mean about each team that you say something nice
Yep,
about?
Go ahead.
Everyone
do the
hates
yin and
you.
yang. All right, Ross, you finally believed in Raheem Mostert. I applaud you for that because I have tried to believe in him and you actually did.
Question for you, real quick, on Mostert and Achane. Sam and I just got an argument over this on the phone. The last 2 weeks, yes, Mostert has been in more plays, 60% to like 40%, but Achane has gotten more touches 2 weeks in a row over Mostert and more touchdowns.
See,
so it's hit the point where it's like, okay, Mostert's in on the third down blocking plays, so that he's not barely going to get the ball there. Mostert's not as impressive anymore now that Achane's around.
It's true.
that was going to be my mean thing about Ross's team is you have the two wrong Miami running backs.
That's tough. It is tough. All right, Libby, you were right about David Montgomery versus Jahmyr Gibbs. You did it. You stuck with the old guy. You stuck with the former Bear. You didn't go for the new flashy model. And I'm stuck with the clunker, and you got the actual good player.
My mean thing is that by the time playoff comes around, all of your good players will be hurt, Libby, and you will lose alone.
Wes, Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift. Congratulations. You also have one of the only good tight ends, and Jalen Hurts is good. And you spent $96 on Devon Achane.
That was 3 nice
I
things.
I tried spending 79. I
Yeah.
didn't think anybody would beat me.
Well, the Taylor Swift one's fake because they'll stop dating after a movie comes out. So
Yeah. Well, I did just get called Mr. Pfizer, so you have Mr. Pfizer on your team. That's my mean thing.
Seth, you believed in the Bears. You kept starting more, and he finally paid off for you. And I already conceded my week victory to you, so that's my nice thing.
Aside from Cooper Kupp on your injured reserve, your bench is completely impotent, and I don't think you have a lot of depth.
Tim, you get to watch Justin Jefferson and fully enjoy that experience.
I do enjoy it.
And Jordan Love is good.
Tim, you
I enjoy
have to
it too.
watch Najee Harris. And that sucks.
Also not good. That's a good one. Thank you.
Drew, man, I don't like your team. Hey, man, you got a top 5 running back in Kenneth Walker. Congratulations.
That's why I had to make the trade. There's nothing else good. I don't even have to be mean to myself. All of my good
Hey,
players
Justin
are-
Fields played well the
You have
last
another
2
good
weeks.
wide receiver, don't you?
Justin Fields played well. Tutu Atwell.
Oh, you had Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans is on a bye. Logistically, the trade came at a bad time, but what are you gonna do?
Lucas, Josh Dobbs's picture looks like an alien. And that makes looking at your roster kind of fun. Also, you start Adam Thielen, and man, do I love me some Adam Thielen. I wish I would have been able to keep him on my roster.
Lucas, my prediction for you is that you're going to have to start Jonathan Taylor for most of the rest of the season. I think he picks up where he left off, where you have to start him because of his potential, and he gets projected for a lot of points. And I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that up or do it at all. And I'm probably going to look stupid for saying that, but
Stefan, you have Deebo Samuel, and watching Deebo Samuel play is a lot of fun. So, like Tim, who gets to watch Justin Jefferson, you get to watch Deebo Samuel and be like, that guy's on my team. Also, Justin Herbert's good.
Stefan, your team is kind of a little meh. I think that is the truth. Also, aside from Kirk Cousins, I don't think I've ever seen a more oft injured lineup. Every single one of these dudes has spent time on the IR.
Tom, you have Sam Laporta, the number 2 overall ranked tight end that you got for $3, and is the example that breaks the rule that rookie tight ends can't be good right away. And man, is Sam Laporta good.
Tom?
And he's better than a guy named Luke on my favorite team. So that's sad.
That is sad. Tom, you have Russell Wilson on your fantasy team and on your team in real life. And now that the biggest cheese ball in the world is not my quarterback, that sucks for you, man. That sucks. He's annoying. You'll make it, though.
For my team, I was going to say, Luke, you finally decided to drop AJ Dillon. But then I realized that I was only dropping AJ Dillon if I got the guy that's on the Vikings now. So I didn't actually drop AJ Dillon, so he's still on my team. For me, Anthony Richardson's good. I was right.
That is true. My main thing is that you picked the wrong Detroit running back, like the really wrong one.
It's bad. Sam, you have Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy is the greatest overachiever of all time. And you are the greatest underachiever in our league. So hopefully that balances it out.
Nathan's going to roast his brother instead of me because I enjoy family conflict.
You enjoy family conflict? Sam, on a scale of 1 to 2 of where you rank in Road About Brothers in this fantasy league, you're firmly second place.
Wow. I could not have hurt him more than that. I'm glad that worked out.
That's tough.
Oh, did we just have a trade get up? Oh, upheld. I thought something went through. That's the me and Libby switching handcuffs.
Tim, I didn't make picks for this next week. You can go through yours and I'll take a quick look and see.
Yep. Some crazy lines this week. So Drew, I'm gonna take you to cover a 17.6 spread. Against who are you playing? I have to remind myself. Tom. Okay, yeah. It's weird that Tom is apparently gonna clobber you, but I think it'll be close. And then Lucas, I'm gonna take 15.4 points. And these are as of yesterday when I was filling these out, so they
Oh
probably
yeah,
have
that has
changed.
changed because I actually put in my defense. It is now 19 points basically.
Yeah. Well, I'm picking Lucas to cover the spread. And then my last one is I'm gonna pick Sam to win his first game this week. He's favored minus 6.8, and I'm gonna ride with them. I think Sam gets his first win this week.
Yep. So I'm going to first limit myself to the one game where people haven't played. So I'm going to take Lucas plus 19 or 18.7 against Nathan. I think Lucas wins outright. And Nathan doesn't have a chance at winning at all. And probably will never win another game the rest of the year.
We should put a bet on that.
No. This is fake betting.
Less than a minute, so we gotta get going.
I think I'm gonna lose to Steph.
Nice.
I'll take Seth minus whatever the points are. I'll take Seth minus 40. And then I'll take Sam also to win.
Nice.
His first game of the year. Minus whatever it is, I think 6.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
This
take
was
the
a good
live
time.
line on Seth versus me at minus 38 or minus 20. Yeah, minus 38.
Nice.